hey yo, we need another training arc now. Chapter 318 and 319 of Black Clover. It's gonna be a review, and if anything, I hope 320 doesn't turn out to spoil the build-up of 318 and 319. In fact, not even a build-up from these two chapters alone. We've actually seen and heard of the power and name, which is Lucifero, since the Elf arc, since the General has been introduced, since we had Lieb jump into the scene, since we had Nacht jump into the scene. The name that's been echoing up until now is Lucifero. Now that we see him and we see what he's capable of, or at least half of what he's capable of, it's safe to say that Lucifero isn't someone to play around with. He's Mr. Unfuckwittable. Long story short, I mean, if you think about it, the way he's been manhandling Asta, the fact that still hasn't made a move, probably he's thinking of a whole strategy that's going to be one shot. The fact that all these captains were down at the end of 318, and it's explained in the beginning of 319 that, oh, if it wasn't for captain role of the Aquadiers, if it wasn't for his spell, we'd still be down due to this powerful gravity magic, which was actually said by Charlotte while she was in her amped form. We're looking at the captains, the Clover Kingdom captains, who are fighting against a Lucifero, a half incomplete Lucifero, and they can't even land a hit in. Jack the Ripper can't slice him up. Mario Leona and Fuegoleon can't even burn him. Nozal can't even pierce him. You see that everyone here is trying, they're using the ace in their holes, their best spells, and they still can't come out of it. Like, hey yo, Lucifero caught Mario Leona's punch, broke her wrist, and punched her with the other arm. I'm telling you, this man can't play around. He's not someone you can play around with. This is not for play. This is a real thing now. The build-up up until now hasn't been we can win with the power of friendship. This is hey yo, we need another training arc now. Because these guys understand, the captains and everyone have trained to fight the Dark Triad, or trained to help people who are fighting the Dark Triad. They weren't training to fight a powerhouse like Lucifero. I mean, if you even think about it, the people who trained them got bodied by the Dark Triad. You see where I'm going with this? This is a matter of, it's a different power level. The only person I can think of that can contest against someone like Lucifero would be Julius Novachrono, but since he's out of commission and still at the Clover Kingdom, we can't expect him to come for another few episodes. And if anything, I think I'm still hard set on my whole theory of Julius Novachrono being a devil user, but if Julius Novachrono were to come and make a surprise entrance, I can predict him putting Lucifero in a temporary chronostasis. And in this chronostasis would probably only last 3 months, with Julius staying there and making sure that this guy doesn't escape anytime going. Probably going to put layers and layers of time orbs around Lucifero, so even if he tries to break out, he'll keep coming out and back and back and back in. But then also thinking about the fact that there's also a Supreme Devil of the second level that's also present over there doing his 10-10 on Neji versus Naruto type of thing. You'd expect him to be taken care of first, but everyone's forgetting about him. I think that's where and the others are focusing on, but at the same time, we would have actually caught in wind of that in 318, or at the very least 319, but we haven't yet. We see everyone's focusing on Lucifero, and as they should, because Lucifero is the biggest threat on the battlefield right now. I mean, just one flick of a finger can put everyone down with his gravity magic. This is not even Dante level of gravity magic. This is not Morris level of gravity magic. This is the user. This is his own magic. He's not limiting himself so he doesn't break the user or the host that he's put himself into. This is him himself in his incomplete form doing such damage. Asta can't do much with his anti-magic. You see people like Yami and Vengeance are still out of commission, so best believe the Clover Kingdom are very, very weakened. They very weakened. So you understand that the situation that they've put themselves in is very dire. I don't see them winning this. If anything, I feel like what I said earlier about Julius Chrono coming in and stopping Lucifero in these tracks with time magic is probably the only solution I can come with that's plausible, that makes a lot of sense, and if anything, doesn't put Black Clover in a worse light than it already is. Because if you don't already know, if you're not in the anime community and this is your first time hearing about Black Clover, let me tell you something. Black Clover is the new age Bleach. That's said in more than one way. Not saying in terms of, oh, they all have swords and everything. Oh, they have captains in different places and everything. They all have their different roles. You know, no. Black Clover is as underrated as Bleach was and currently is. A lot of people don't like Black Clover, and there's people who would read Black Clover or watch Black Clover on occasion and wait for Yuki Tabata to slip, and this is the perfect opportunity for him to slip. So if there's a power of friendship moment where Asta wouldn't make him scratch Lucifero at most, scratch him, or even land a blow on him, I would actually dislike what's going on, because this is the perfect way to actually show us what they're up against. This is the big baddie of the whole thing. This is someone you can't just gloss over with 10 chapters. This is an Aizen level villain. This is a Madara level villain. Someone who you actually need to train for again, or get an amp, a divine amp from, or get an ally that can impart wisdom onto you or something like that. Or at least, at the very least, have a time-stopping wizard stop the whole situation with Lucifero and that other devil. Make sure that both of them are kept at bay, so you guys have 3 months of a training arc to come back into that fight and actually make a difference. Hey, it's GoaTaro. Something came to mind while editing this video. Charmy and Mimosa could actually do a whole combo spell to heal and replenish the magic power of Yami and Vengeance, which will then put them back into the battle. But then, of course, that won't really change the tide of battle, because, you know, Lucifero is that OP at his half state. So yeah, that's what GoaTaro gotta say. That's the most logical solution I can come with this, because, hey yo, let's just be honest right now. The way Lucifero is right now, I don't see him losing. I'm gonna be really honest with you. It doesn't matter how many combo spells, how many like recovery magic spells Mimosa can come and probably like ask Pool to save Yami and Vengeance and somewhat change the tide of the battle. But in this case, the most plausible solution Yuki Tabata can go with for 320 and forward is by bringing Julius Chrono back. Bring him out of that whole hoax of him being weakened and a child now. Like, ayo, he must tell himself, ayo, it's time. I knew this would happen. Let me just go free them and let's go and train these people. Because Julius Chrono never lifted a finger for Asta and Yuno. Up until now, he hasn't trained them. He had their own captains train them. Well, Yuno hasn't actually got to train. He actually meditated most of the time, to be honest. And I feel like, in my opinion, if he actually trained at the Heart Kingdom, he would be somewhat stronger, due to, like, you know, training with someone of his power level, or at least his power level, who also understands wind magic and knows how to use it properly. He could have actually gotten stronger. He could have benefited a lot from that training session, but he didn't, because it's, you know, proud, you know, type of thing. But yeah, that's what I can really say about 318 and 319 of Black Clover. This is GoaTaro signing out. Bye.